made one of the worst decisions of his career by suing Universal Music Group. Now everyone is laughing.
Like in Drake's case, because of the success, he's feeling the backlash of his success. Right now, everything that he said he did, they did. In that lawsuit, they did it.
What do you mean?
Like Universal Music Group,
reducing the price of
everything
the
that he did is a part of marketing.
I feel that too. Yep.
They do it for everybody.
Yes,
they probably did it for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Drake has recently made a move that many are considering one of the biggest mistakes of his career, suing Universal Music Group. This decision comes at a time when his music career is already facing some serious challenges. His latest album, which was eagerly anticipated, has ended up performing below expectations, and the numbers reflect that. It's clear that a key factor in this disappointing outcome is the lack of support from other major artists. In the past, collaborations were a key ingredient to Drake's success, helping to elevate his music and create buzz. However, this time around, the album has struggled to attract the kind of attention Drake was hoping for, and much of that can be traced back to the absence of high-profile guest appearances. Drake has always relied on featuring other artists to give his music a fresh twist. These collaborations injected excitement into his releases and made his songs feel more dynamic. But with his latest work, there were no major names to help push the project into the spotlight. This absence of star power has resulted in a sharp decline in the number of listeners tuning into his latest project. Where previous albums had a lineup of artists that kept fans excited, this one has faltered without that same level of collaborative energy. What's worse for Drake is the realization that his usual formula, building hype by teaming up with other successful artists, is no longer effective. The industry has shifted, and now it's not enough for Drake to simply drop an album under his own name. He's no longer the only name in the game, and his influence, once seemingly untouchable, has begun to fade. The fans who once flocked to his music are now looking for something more. There is a growing demand for fresh voices and perspectives in the music world, and without a compelling feature list, Drake's solo work isn't cutting through the noise. Drake's fall from dominance is particularly noticeable because of the massive success he's enjoyed in the past. He has always been able to maintain a high position on the charts, in large part due to his ability to collaborate with other major artists, boosting his appeal to different fan bases. But without that support, he's left to stand on his own, and it's become evident that his solo efforts aren't enough to keep him at the top of the charts anymore. It's also clear that the magic of the past, where Drake could release an album and immediately attract the attention of millions, has now worn off. As his career begins to show signs of wear, Drake seems reluctant to admit that his reign might be over. Instead of acknowledging his fall from the top, he's doubled down on his efforts, planning for the next big release in an attempt to reverse the trend. However, salvaging his career at this point might require more than just another album or a catchy hook. It seems that Drake is realizing he needs something or someone to help him regain his relevance in the industry. And the person he's hoping will provide that lifeline. None other than J. Cole, a rapper who has recently enjoyed a resurgence in popularity, is at the top of Drake's list of potential collaborators. With Cole gearing up for the release of his much-anticipated album, The Fall Off, Drake sees an opportunity to latch on to the momentum that Cole has built over the years. Unlike Drake, who has been caught in a web of controversies and struggles, Cole has managed to keep his reputation intact by focusing on his craft and avoiding the feuds that have plagued Drake. Cole's success in the industry has been built on authenticity, lyricism, and consistent quality music, traits that Drake has been accused of losing in recent years. But what makes this situation even more complicated is that while Drake is desperate for a boost to his career, J. Cole has no real need for him. Cole has established himself as one of the most respected lyricists in the game, and he's built his brand around genuine talent rather than relying on gimmicks or industry politics. For Cole, collaborating with Drake may not be the best move for his legacy. Aligning himself with someone whose credibility has taken a hit could hurt Cole's reputation, especially when he is on the brink of releasing what is expected to be one of the defining albums of his career. Despite the potential risks, Drake sees Cole as the best chance he has to salvage his career. With the industry moving in a new direction and fans gravitating toward artists who are genuine and authentic, Drake is hoping that by teaming up with Cole, he can ride the wave of credibility that Cole has built for himself. For Drake, it's clear that this collaboration is more than just a business move. It's a lifeline. Without it, he might not have much left in terms of his standing in the industry. The question remains, will this collaboration work out for Drake, or will it only serve to highlight just how far he's fallen? The dynamics between Drake and Cole are fascinating, given the contrasting positions they find themselves in. Cole is focused on elevating his craft and preparing for the release of The Fall Off, an album that will likely define his career. Drake, on the other hand, is looking to revive his career by leaning on collaborations to provide the momentum he can no longer generate on his own. The timing of this potential collaboration is crucial for both artists. For Drake, it's a chance to regain some of the influence he's lost. For Cole, it's an opportunity to connect with a huge audience and potentially bring in some of Drake's fanbase. However, the risks for Cole are high. Aligning himself too closely with Drake, especially at this stage in his career, could hurt Cole's image, as Drake's credibility is currently in question. While Drake might view this as an opportunity to return to the spotlight, Cole has more to lose than gain from the collaboration. One of the key reasons this collaboration is so important to Drake is the way the industry has shifted in recent years. The success of artists like Kendrick Lamar and the rise of newer, fresher voices have made it harder for artists who once dominated the charts to maintain their relevance. Drake's recent solo efforts have not performed as well as they once did, and he's finding it harder to stay relevant without the support of other artists. His recent album underperformed, and his public feud with Kendrick Lamar left him with more losses than wins. In this climate, Drake is struggling to regain the kind of dominance he once had. Meanwhile, J. Cole is doing just fine. His recent release, Clouds, has been well received, with many calling it one of the best tracks of the year. Cole has managed to stay true to his artistry while maintaining a strong presence in the industry. Unlike Drake, who has been caught up in drama and controversies, Cole has kept a low profile and focused on his music. His approach has allowed him to build a loyal fan base that values his lyricism and authenticity. For Drake, collaborating with Cole could provide him with the momentum he needs to get back into the conversation. But the real question is whether the collaboration will work, or if it will only highlight how far Drake has fallen from the top. As the industry moves forward, it's clear that Drake is no longer in control. He's lost some of the influence that made him one of the biggest names in hip-hop, and now he's relying on others to help him regain his place at the top. Drake's strategy of using collaborations to stay relevant isn't new, but it's becoming more apparent that he's desperate for success. His recent solo efforts have not been enough to bring him back to the forefront, and without the support of major collaborations, his career could be in jeopardy. In contrast, J. Cole is moving forward with purpose, building anticipation for the fall-off while staying true to his artistic vision. Cole's success, combined with his ability to stay out of the drama, positions him as one of the most respected figures in hip-hop today. As the industry evolves, Drake's ability to stay at the top is becoming increasingly uncertain. His reliance on collaborations, particularly with J. Cole, highlights just how far he's fallen. Whether this partnership will help him regain his relevance remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, Drake needs this collaboration more than Cole does. The question is, will it be enough to bring him back to the top?